So you were on the harbour board, eh?
I was.
How long were you on that for?
Gee, I don't know.
Roughly?
Well, 28 years.
28 years, yeah.
I was harbour master for a while. But John Mayock, now myself, I enjoyed John Mayock. He was the chairman.
Who else was on that board?
John Mayock.
Yeah. Bolster.
Foy.
Brendan Bolster.
Brendan Bolster was secretary. When he died, then Michael Moran came in as secretary. And then you had Declan Divern, Margaret Adams, a number of councillors then. And then you had one or two representatives from the Euro Club.
Chamber, yeah?
Chamber of Commerce.
Peter Shanley?
Yes.
Jim Kiley?
Yes.
And
Burke, that was another one too.
And what was your job down there? What were you supposed to do down there?
Well, it was sort of, it was very well run down. And then out of nowhere came this factory for fish food for
the trout,
fish
yeah.
farms, trout. So Harbour Wood had a bit of property, and this man had a bit of property, and Stanton's had, and or Sligo had, and Brian Gill had. So between the whole lot, we all got together, and it was all sorted out. The factory was built, and I think the quay was prospered.
It benefited, yeah.
It did, of course.
It was.
But I mean, it was really just to keep a harbour going, which was to try and maintain it. That was the big factor.
And in your time, were there any boats coming in and out as much?
There was. There was famous one, the Galtee, Limerick steamship. And that was, I used to say there was more cement on the bottom of it inside than outside, but it did the journey, it always did it.
And what was it delivering?
Coal, timber, anything that suited the merchants in Westport that time. But it was,
Can you remember any other boats coming in there?
well, that was I remember once way back young, there was not a grain, what type of grain was it? For Pollux ones.
Yeah.
And that was 1,000 tonner, top of the tide now, and it had grain. It was more or less a maize. And the big scoop started working again and scooped the whole lot out of it.
Can you remember the name of the boat, no?
Oh, I can't.
Do you remember the dredger?
Oh, I do.
What was the dredger? What was the name?
Sisyphus.
And who was the skipper of that boat? Can you remember?
He was Dublin, but two Westport lads were crew in it.
Can you remember their names?
I do, and I remember one anyways. Ernie Merritt was one, and Joe Hopkins was the other.
Joe, yeah.
Joe, yeah.
Okay. And
Joe was a good seaman, and he was
did you see the Sisyphus? You did?
oh, I did start working.
Were you ever on it?
No,
Never on it, yeah. And how long was it there for?
I must have spent a year, maybe a year and a half. I went up to Dublin to the Liffey then, and did the Liffey up and down. I saw it there too, working away.
So it was serving several harbours. You should go around with it?
No, it served Dublin Harbour till the end of its life.
And would it spend long here when it should come here now?
It spent like 6 or 9 months, maybe a year here.
Okay. And they'd scrape off the stuff and they'd dump it in, would they?
Well, you see, the bottom was opened up,
Yeah.
and it closed when it was loaded, and they go at the back of the lighthouse. And,
So they tipped it into the sea then?
yeah.
Or the ocean out there? Okay. So, how do you think of Westport? Are you a Westport man? Where were you born?
I was born in Tyrone, Oma.
Tyrone, yeah. And what age when you came here about?
About 8.
So you're nearly a Covey?
Not quite,
Why not?
but I got a membership card on Idlewall, so that wasn't too bad.
So what happened on the Idle Wall? What was happening down there?
Idlewall was for all the dockers at the quay, and it was where everyone met. And the man said to me once, "I don't know how you do it out here, but I'll have to try it." He moved from one job to the other, and before he went to the next job, he sat for 3 months in Idlewall. The best 3 months of his life. He met the best characters he'd ever meet in his lifetime.
And that wall is still there?
It is, and we got a plaque up on it. The Harbour Board put a plaque up the Idlewall in memory of all the dockers that sat on it.
And would there be many people around there now when it would be?
Well, you see, if a boat came in with timber, and they'd be all Dutch coasters, like 300 tonners, and you'd have the pilots up from Innisliar and sure, all the dockers be there to unload. And to unload timber was slow. So we had a good number of men, you know, and there was money and there was no work in Westport for an awful lot of men.
And was it unloaded manually?
Oh yeah.
You put it up on your shoulder and...
Oh, carried it off and put it into slings and was swung over, you know, like cranes.
And would the boat be in for long that time then?
A week.
A week, yeah.
The quicker you unloaded it, the quicker it got away. And
And how many men be working on it about, would you think?
oh, it could be 20.
20, yeah. So it's a busy little area then.
Oh yeah, and a coal boat came in, and you had to go down and dig the coal into buckets, and it was hoisted up and over into trucks and away.
Okay. And was there much rehydration going on? Drinking?
That was a national
Pastime.
pastime, I think.
And what were the popular pubs down the quay that time?
Well, whereas the Helena was McBride's. So Mrs. King had the Ascar back when I was young at the quay. And there was Jack Hennessy had a pub. It's gone now. It's where the hotel is now, just a small.
Atlantic Coast, yeah, yeah.
And then there was two sisters over in the ours. There's two sisters there, and they had great books. John May got some of them, I think, of the islanders come on buying candles and everything like that. The cost and the handwriting, it was pure class.
Then of course,
Peggy Brown then was in around the corner.
did you ever drink in Peggy's?
Oh, I did, of course.
What was it like? Can you describe what it looked like
Well,
when you went in the door?
well, it was straight, just an open pub inside when you came in the door.
Straight through.
And then, you see, on the left, she did grocery business. And there were plenty of bales of bacon on the right-hand side, and all the boys. But you some great characters, you see. You had the famous Bertie Kelly, All-Ireland champion, took an All-Ireland medal in 1936.
Football.
Football, Tommy Hoban, another client and a great all-star from Westport that played with Mayo. Dingy McAvoy, sure. You think he'd won 10 All-Irelands playing hurling, but he could talk it anyways. He was great fun. There was all those type of characters, and you see, you had a very busy little station across the road, and the workers were there, and they all come across for a pint. You had a good trade, you know.
And what was Peggy like herself?
You didn't cross her. She was her own judge and jury of everything. She was the boss.
She was the boss. She's not long dead.
No, she.
Oh, a nice woman. She's a great character.
Oh, stop! You wouldn't meet anything like her. Decent, very decent little woman. And then many's a fella had no bob in his pocket, and she didn't leave him short.